everyone. Today I'm going to give you a peek inside on a English and writing program called Brave Writer. It's one of the popular English curriculums in the homeschool world. I'm going to start off on the website to give you kind of a overview of the program, and then I'll show you inside one of the programs geared for the younger kids. So Brave Writer has a bit of a different philosophy. As you can see, I'll try and scroll kind of slow. It teaches writing the way a writer would teach writing. So instead of starting with format or structure, believing that students will find ease in writing if they are told what the shape of writing ought to be, they kind of start more from a standpoint of kids already have something meaningful to say, and writing is just helping them get that onto a page. Writers write about what they have to say, and the kids already have something to say, and what they have to say is valuable. And then there is also the language arts program in it too. So it's mostly known for its writing program, and to teach writing, it starts from Jot It Down, which is going to be the youngest age group. These are kids. This is the program I know the most about. This is for the youngest kids because often they can verbalize more than they can write. So the premise of it is the child dictates to you and then you write it down. And then it goes to partnership writing. When they're a little bit older, they can kind of write where they're writing some and you're writing some. And faltering ownership, transition to ownership, and the great conversation. Progressively handing the reins more and more to the child. But instead of a child struggling to write maybe a paragraph because their writing skills aren't as advanced as their ability to speak, this helps to build the confidence in writing. Meanwhile, there's a separate program for, practicing handwriting and all that kind of stuff. So so here's the store. You've got the mechanics and literature portion, which is broken down by age groups. The wand is 5 to 7, so it's going to have easier stuff in younger grades. The dart, the arrow, boomerang, and then I think this one is where they show the writer's jungle, which I do not have. These are kind of like parent manuals. And then the writing projects. So this would be what we talked about before with Jot It Down, partnership writing, faltering ownership. So if you have a 5 to 8-year-old, you're probably going to look first at Jot It Down, and so on and so forth. So I have young kids. So when you buy products from here, you get a digital, I think it might be a PDF, I'm not quite sure, but it's digital. So I printed them out, and I have them in binders. I will start with the writing program. This is Jot It Down. You can kind of get a glimpse of the writing projects that they have. And if your child gets through all of the writing projects and they're not quite ready for partnership writing, then you can just redo a lot of them. Like, just because you made a fairy tale project in kindergarten, once you're in 2nd grade, you can do it again, and the writing should be more developed and advanced as the child grows more and more and more. And then here's a few of the other projects. A big part of the Brave Writer program is kind of a Brave Writer lifestyle type thing. So like poetry tea time, weekly movies, nature studies, art appreciation, it all creates kind of a language-rich environment to inspire the kids. And so that's kind of how that works. The beginning of the jot it down has like a lot of information about routines versus schedules and using the program and creating the lifestyle. Without giving away too much, let's try and skip ahead some. Wordplay and games. And then you get to the projects. The projects are broken down like this. I'm only going to go through one project because all the projects are going to have kind of similar setups, but it'll give you a description, your objectives, process, read a fairy tale, retell it 2 ways, and then you're going to be the scribe for your child. So here's a poster project. And that's kind of the general gist for the writing program. Then there is the English program. As you can see, they give you a lot for what you pay for the English program. I have the wand, which is the youngest version. It's going to go through the guidelines for using the wand. It says it teaches phonics, but I wouldn't start this program until your child can kind of read some basic words, maybe level 1 readers. I think the first segment of it uses Dr. Seuss books like Hop on Pop and Fox and Socks, and they're supposed to read for about 10 minutes before they start. But it goes through some spelling words, word origin, grammar, capitalization, punctualization, vocabulary development. How to use the wand. It says each month obtain copies. It comes with the copies the way that I bought it, because I just bought the program so I can print it off right away. So here is the first lesson. So Hop and Pop you will use for about, I want to say 2 weeks. This is the first lesson. It could be used for like a kindergarten first grader. So you're going to get a copy work passage every week. So every week they're going to copy it. They're going to copy the passage. And I have my daughter copy it a couple times. And then I'll tell you why this passage, how to teach it. And then here is a phonics lesson. The first lesson isn't really indicative of what happens in the other one, so I'm just going to scan through that one. Here is where they really break down step by step. It's pretty scripted. You say the purple part. And then here's week 2. So it's the same book for about 2 weeks. And I will give some examples. So in with it, it will give you some ideas for using a folder. And you kind of make your own letter tiles for this. I let my daughter write them, so some of these were like beginning kindergarten letters because we still use them. But it will have you spell like with word teams throughout it. So you've got where, there, etc., etc. And then I will flip ahead so this video doesn't get too long to the last issues. Let's go towards the back. The first couple lessons don't have it, but most of them will have a section on pre-teaching the copywork, which helps the child to mark the copywork, to make them aware of capital letter here, period there, watch out for this tricky word type of stuff. So the last one is the relatives came, and you can see this copywork passage is a lot more than the beginner ones. You can see the phonics. And then teaching the lesson, this would be how you teach that phonics lesson. The inside of our folders are getting a lot more stuff in them. You're talking about vowel teams. Your grammar lesson, your spelling words, teaching the spelling lesson, pre-teaching the copywork, which is marking up the copywork passage, and then they do French dictation, so towards the end of the week, you will read this to them, and they will fill in the blanks. And so that is most of the ins and outs of Brave Writer for their writing program and their mechanics and English program.